Hi, I'm Mira. Welcome to another story. Let's see where this one takes us. Dr. Alina Vargas stood in the dim glow of her lab, her eyes glued to the monitor, watching the unstable readings dance across the screen. The hum of machinery around her seemed to echo the pounding in her chest. She had spent years, maybe even a lifetime, working toward this moment. The energy device she had created, a solution to the world's power crisis, was almost ready. Almost. But now it was teetering on the edge of destruction. She rubbed her eyes, trying to shake the dizziness threatening to overwhelm her. The data showed it clearly. Instabilities in the power core, fluctuations too extreme to ignore. It was just a matter of time before the energy could no longer be contained. If the device triggered a catastrophic chain reaction, it could unleash enough force to wipe out entire cities. She'd done everything right, every calculation, every test, but it still wasn't enough. The door to the lab opened with a creak, and Dr. Isaac Mercer stepped in, his presence like a weight in the room. Isaac was the one who had pushed her to this point, the one who had encouraged her when self-doubt had almost destroyed her. He had been her mentor, her colleague, her closest ally. But now, as he approached her, the tension between them felt palpable, like an invisible rift had opened up. "Alina," Isaac's voice broke through her focus. "How are we looking?" She didn't turn to face him, not yet. Her eyes remained fixed on the readings, her hand shaking slightly as she adjusted the parameters once again. "It's unstable. The core's fluctuating too much. I can't stabilize it." Isaac stepped closer, his tone sharp, yet filled with concern. "What do you mean, can't stabilize? This project is everything. You've put in too much. We've put in too much. For you to stop now." Her breath caught. She turned slowly to face him, her eyes tired, strained. "You don't get it, Isaac. If I push this further, if I try to fix it one more time, it's going to fail. I can't risk it." Isaac's jaw clenched and he stepped forward, his voice rising. "We can fix it, Alina. You're the best we've got. You've come this far. You're so close. You can't throw it all away now." She met his eyes, and for a moment it felt like the years they'd spent working side by side were collapsing in on themselves. He wasn't just her colleague. He was a reminder of everything she had ever wanted. The approval, the recognition, the success. She had spent years building this. How could she let it all go now? "I can't," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "Isaac, I've created a weapon, not a solution. This device was supposed to change the world, but now it could destroy it." Isaac's face softened, but the frustration in his eyes didn't fade. "You're not a failure, Alina. This is our chance. Think of what we can do with this. You've worked your whole life for this moment." Her hands clenched into fists, and her mind flashed back to their earlier days, when they were both idealistic, when they had believed their work could save the world, when the joy of discovery had been enough. But now, standing on the precipice of annihilation, Alina saw the truth. Ambition, no matter how noble, came with its own cost. "I didn't come here to be remembered, Isaac," she said, her voice steady but firm. "I came here to help people, to fix the world, and now I see that the price for that kind of power is too high. I can't be the one who risks everything for the sake of glory." Isaac took a step back, the reality of her decision sinking in. He wanted to argue, to persuade her, but he knew better. He had always known that Alina's heart had been wrapped up in this project in ways that even she didn't fully understand. But he also knew that she was right. The cost was too great, and, as much as it pained him, he had to accept that. "You're right," Isaac said quietly, his voice tinged with sadness. "I've been blinded by the potential of it all. But you've always seen the bigger picture. I just didn't want to lose this." Alina let out a long breath, feeling the weight of the decision settle in her chest. There was no glory in this choice, no future success to look forward to. Only the knowledge that she was stepping away from the most important thing in her life. She had to do it. She moved toward the console and pressed the emergency shutdown sequence, her finger hovering over the button for a moment, feeling the weight of the moment. This was the end of the road. The project would be over, but she knew it was the right choice. As the machine powered down, the lab grew silent. The hum of the energy core slowly faded, leaving only the quiet echo of the decision that had been made. Isaac stood beside her, his expression unreadable. You did the right thing, he said softly, his voice breaking the silence. Alina nodded, though her heart felt heavy. She had saved the world, but at the cost of her dream. The weight of that sacrifice would stay with her for a long time. But in the end, she had chosen humanity over ambition, and that was the only choice that truly mattered. Thanks for listening. If the story stuck with you, come back next time for another journey.